Hey guys, welcome to YouTube Mommy Meetup. We are here in another live hangout, and I have baby D with me. She's very fussy tonight, but I'm going to hand her off in a few minutes. But we are talking tonight about if I knew then what I know now regarding YouTube. So when we first started out on YouTube, what are some things that we wish we had done differently, both on our channels, maybe also within the community. And first, we're going to go through and let everyone introduce themselves. We're going to start out with our guest that we have here tonight, Samantha. Do you want to introduce yourself and your channel and maybe what you do on your channel?
So my channel is HappilyAHousewife on YouTube, and I have had my channel since 2013, and yeah, it's primarily just like a all-encompassing mom life channel. So a lot of day in the life type style blogs, and then I also have a passion for organizing and talking about planners as well.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for being here with us again, Samantha. You've been a guest previously with us on YouTube Mommy Meetup. And Candace, let's see if we can hear you. You want to introduce yourself and your channel?
I'm Candace, and my channel is Loving Silly Girl. And we do, well, I should say I do most of the vlogging. I'll do some mommy tidbits here and there and recipes and do a lot of mommy stuff.
Okay, and then Diana is here with me. Diana, introduce yourself and your channel.
Hi, I'm Diana from Be Mommy with Style. And we are missing Amy tonight. She's celebrating her anniversary.
That's right, our co-host Amy from Dreamflight 6000. She is not here tonight because she is celebrating her anniversary, and we do miss her tonight. And but we're going to carry on, and we're going to talk about our topic here. And if you would like to join in the conversation, you can either type into the comments. We'll be checking the comments here in the video, or you can go onto Twitter. And the YouTube Mommy Meetup Twitter team is tweeting under hashtag YTMM, so you can use that hashtag to join in on the conversation. So let's start out with the first question that we have in the Facebook group. Diana, do you have it ready to go? We'll begin with that.
I do. So Sylvia from Sylvia's with Loves asks, do you have any thoughts about showing your sub count, so your subscriber count on your channel? So there is an about section, and you can show your views and show your subscribers. You can also, in your settings, choose to withhold that. She said, for me, I used to show my subscription count, but I found that my sub count was going on slowly then. When I hide the subscriptions, she felt like she got more. So would you suggest to hide those if you're a new vlogger, or just let them show?
Okay, I think that's a really good question, and I think that we should also say how long we've been on YouTube, which I neglected to ask that in the very beginning, which I think for the purposes of this conversation is kind of important, how long we've been YouTubers, or even maybe we've been watching YouTubers. So Samantha, how long have you been a YouTuber?
I have had my channel and been posting on my channel since 2013, and I actually created my channel only about 4 months after I discovered the world of YouTube. Before that, I didn't know that channels and subscriptions and that sort of thing even existed. I thought it was just a place to go and search for stroller reviews or something like that. So once I realized the community and the fact that you could have a channel and post different types of videos, I pretty much joined on right after that. So 2013 is when I started, and I've been going ever since.
Okay, great. And you had a blog before that, right? How long did you have a blog?
I've actually been blogging since 2007, so for a very long time.
Okay. But you sort of found YouTube and then jumped right in as a YouTuber right away.
Yeah, and my blog is not very happy about that, but I just enjoy YouTube so much better.
How
about you, Candace? How long have you been a YouTuber?
Since 2009. But yeah, since 2009, but I didn't really know what YouTube was or being a YouTuber was until probably about 3 years ago. So I kind of just dabbled in it here and there. I would watch, different pregnancy videos, and that's how I got started, was because I got pregnant with my daughter, and I didn't really realize the whole of YouTube until 3 years ago.
Okay, well, 3 years is a good amount of time. How about you, Diana? How long have you been a YouTuber?
I started posting videos regularly when Natalie was a baby, so I'd say the beginning of 2012 time period. And I kind of had that aha moment too, because I'd had my original YouTube account and I'd had a couple videos on there, but I just usually searched things out and then I never came back to YouTube for anything. And I had that aha moment, like Samantha said, where you realize like there's communities on here, and I kind of like realized like what subscriptions were for. And after I kind of realized that, I started uploading more on Bags for Bubbles, and then eventually started Being Mommy with Style.
Okay. I think I started in 2012, and I started, but I only uploaded like once a month or once every other month, because I started just doing some cloth diaper videos, and I was like, oh, because I was watching cloth diaper videos, and I was like, I'll just start uploading some because I don't see very many about twins, and I had twins. They were about 6 months old at the time, so I uploaded a video like every other month or once a month, and then it wasn't until like maybe 6 months later after that that I started to sort of like get more into it as like doing it more frequently and understanding schedules and all of that. So I guess it's been about 3 years now that I've been, you know, kind of consistently doing it. But for me, I show my subscriber count. So I've always shown my subscriber count, getting back to the question that we had in the group. And I think it's, I don't know whether we could always hide it. Do you guys remember if we could always hide that number? But starting out, I didn't know it was an option, and I just sort of always left it up. And I sort of enjoy, like when I watch people, I feel like people, especially people that I really like, I really enjoy them, and I'm sort of feeling like I'm like I want them to grow, I want them to do well. I like seeing them progress, like in a positive way. Like I think it's sort of fun seeing people like, wow, like look how far they've come. Like I remember when I watched them when they had like, you know, 500 subscribers or 10 subscribers. Even like some people I've watched from the very beginning, and then to see how far they've come, I would be sad actually if I couldn't see that number, just because I feel like I'm sort of participating in that journey with them, and I kind of like seeing it. So that's sort of my take as a viewer about how I like to see it. And so because I try to think about things as how I feel about them when I'm watching other channels, I do show my own subscribe. I just leave it out there because I don't really feel any need to not show it. You know, it doesn't really, I don't know whether that makes a difference as far as people subscribing or not, but sometimes I'm less likely to subscribe if I can't see the person's subscriber count, just because I feel like I don't know why they're hiding it. Like I don't know, I tend to not. How do you feel about it? And Samantha, how do you feel about showing or not showing?
I don't see how it would be a problem to show it even from the beginning when you don't have a lot. I maybe could see it if you have a very small like niche and you are specifically making maybe like, for example, planner reviews, and like you just gung-ho start making all these reviews on whatever the subject may be, and you want to be relevant in that community, maybe hiding it at first and then making it public once you hit a certain milestone, so that people don't see it as, oh, she only has 200 subscribers, how much does she actually know about this product or this type of thing. That's the only place I could see it being maybe an issue with having a really low number. But I think if you're a daily vlogger, or if you're a family channel or a gaming channel or anything, like you said, people want to grow with you. And a lot of times I don't even recognize my milestones. Somebody is pointing it out to me, so people are watching that and people are excited for you. And so I've always had mine public. I don't really know of a lot of people that don't have it public. And I guess if I see it, I don't know, if I see someone that doesn't have it public, sometimes I feel like, oh, they're not going to make it because they're insecure about something. And if you're
that's how I feel
if you're insecure about a number, then you have a lot of problems on YouTube then, because you're just going to, I mean, everybody knows you have to have a thick skin. So if one little number is going to hurt you, then yeah.
Yeah, YouTube's pretty transparent. And I think even if you have your subscription count not visible, there's other ways people can see it. Like I think now even if they hover over the subscribe button, it still comes up, doesn't it?
Or I'm guessing that Social Blade would still show it too, maybe. That you, I mean, you could definitely find it other ways if you really wanted to, I think.
Yeah.
I agree. It seems like it shows it like an insecurity, even if if that's not the reason. It just kind of portrays that image, I feel. What do you think, Candace?
Oh, I completely agree. I was actually playing around with my YouTube today with the subscription thing. I'm like, oh, you can hide your number? You know, I didn't even know you could hide your number.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually have to go back and, you know, do all that stuff. But, no, I think you should have it out there. I think people should grow with you.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. You know, I think people like to see that. You know, I watch so many vlogs, and when I see their numbers going up, I get really excited for them.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. I also will have a couple of my subscribers that don't know the exact number, but they'll be like, I've been with you since the beginning, and you would never know that if your numbers weren't visible. So.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I'll go hide my subscription count for like 2 weeks, and I'll let you guys know what happens. Maybe this is like some new trick we should
test it out.
I agree.
Yeah.
I like, you know, watching people grow, you know. I think it's good.
Yeah. Okay, good. So that was a good question. Diana, I don't know if you were able to have Twitter up, but as I said, we do have the Twitter team there. Crystal from Brought to You by Mom, Anne-Marie from It's Just My Life CA, as well as some of the other members of the Twitter team. And to find out all about that, you can go to YouTubeMommyMeetup.com/Twitter. And before we move into maybe something on Twitter, you see something there already?
There's a couple people, they're talking about hiding sub counts, and some people are actually saying they hide theirs. So when they get down to the Y, I'll let you know. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And something that's interesting in this hangout that I noticed after, you know, we did the drawing and everything is everybody here is going to be at the YouTube Mom Conference in August in Chicago. So I thought that was really cool. We're going to be meeting Candace and Samantha in person in Chicago. And so you can go to YouTubeMomConference.com to find out some more information about that. It's on August 15th, 2015. If you are watching or listening to the podcast in the future, that is when we will be there, and everybody here will be there, including Amy, who's not here with us tonight, but she will be in Chicago.
That's cool.
So, yeah. All right. So let's think about one thing that we wish that we had known that we didn't when we first started out. So I don't know. Does anybody have one that they have already set to go? Who wants to go first? Something that you wish you'd known that you know now when you first started out on YouTube.
That there's actually, you know what? Before I got into the vlogging or anything like that, I'm like, oh, wow, there's a couple vloggers out there, and, oh, you know, I'm going to make it really big, really fast, and then I'm seeing all these vloggers just pop up everywhere. There's hundreds of thousands of them, and you're like, oh, I guess maybe not. So you just have to kind of, you know, like, wow, I didn't realize there was that many vloggers, so I wish I kind of would have known that before. Maybe I would have gone a different direction.
Okay. That's a good one. Yep. I wish I'd known how important your channel name was, because when I first signed into YouTube and set it up, and my channel worked out okay for me, but my channel on YouTube is Miss Diaper D, and I actually did it because that's what my name was, or something similar. That was my name on eBay when I used to sell cloth diapers on eBay. So when I signed into YouTube to create an account, I was like, oh, I'll just make it Miss Diaper D. Like, I'll just do that. Like, that's available, and I did it, and boom, it's like set in stone now for like eternity. I mean, you can change it. You like it, thank you. But it's something I just wish I'd thought on it, you know, more than like half a second. I just, you know, it worked out okay for me, but I know lots of people who make channel names, you know, because they're viewers, and then like they start to think about making their own videos, and then they have this really funky channel name, maybe even one with like numbers in it and stuff. So I think that's something when you first start out, it's, you know, a good thing if you take, you know, some time to really think about what you want your channel name to be, because it's part of like how you name yourself, how you identify. Like if you do like any kind of branding in your videos, like it kind of, even if, you know, it takes a while to set your URL, and even if you can change it in the future, I still think it's good to kind of start out being consistent with one channel name and sort of, you know, keeping it. So I wish I'd known that when I first started out, because I didn't think about it at all. I just kind of jumped in with that.
Yeah. And the numbers. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just going to comment. I was going to piggyback off of your name suggestion. The numbers in there are just. I know that some people, they don't bother them, but my original channel, the Handbag channel, has a 4 in it, and then it's so complicated trying to explain that to people. Like bags 4 bubbles, the number 4. It just makes it so much longer. I wish I would have thought longer on making that channel name as well.
Yep. So if you put like a number in it, you have to spell it out, or, you know, say the numeric number 4. So that's a good one.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Candace?
Oh, I was saying I used my childhood nickname. Now that I'm actually a YouTuber, I kind of wish I didn't, because this is a name that I had since I was like 13.
Uh-huh.
So
Now you're stuck with it, and all the world knows.
All the world knows.
this is gonna be great because like you said, I was just watching videos at first, so I just went with that, and now that I make videos, I'm kind of like,
By the way, I love how Candace is just walking around her kitchen. I think you're the first person we've ever had in a hangout who's like just like chilling in the kitchen, drinking coffee, walking around.
I love it.
Sorry, is it blurry?
No, it's blurry, but it's fine. It's totally just funny.
I just do that. I'm nervous. I'm not nervous. I just got anxiety, so I have to do something.
Pacing, it's great. I love it. It adds, fluidity to the hangout with you moving around, so it's good. How about you, Samantha? Can you think of anything that you wished you had done when you first started out that you didn't?
I really sat myself down before I started, and I thought out, because I had been watching Diana especially, and I had been watching some like bigger channels as well, and I sat down and I was like, I need to think this through before I do it. And for the most part, I went through and I realized like the security thing was a big thing for me. I wanted to be sure I knew what our boundaries were and things like that, and we went through that. But one or two things that I wish I would have done is I went into it as a hobby, which I think is important, but I also think that there's so much potential for it to become sort of your business or your brand, if that makes sense. And I was like, no, I'm just doing this for fun. And while that's important, like as you grow, it becomes so much more than that. And like I think maybe having some sort of plan in place, like I'm not going to do this until X, or I really want to stay away from this content, or whatever it may be. I think that having a bit of a business plan, even if it's just something for fun, wouldn't have been a bad thing, because now I'm kind of at like these crossroads and I'm like, what do I do? Like I never really thought about this before, and that sort of thing. Another thing that I wish I would have done is I'm a big like numbers person, and I wish I would have kept track along the way of when I hit milestones and like how long it took me to hit those milestones, and like the whole like money making process. Like I wish I had in my mind like, oh, this is when I did this, and I know you can probably find it all on your accounts and online, but I just like had to have things written out, and I wish I would have kind of journaled that and kept track of that from the beginning. So
yeah,
that's
those are great
advice.
points. Yeah, really good advice.
I wish I would have sat down and made a plan like Samantha did, because I just stumbled into everything.
I think it's good. Like I always try to think about things like what does wild success look like for you, and then try to act and plan accordingly. As far as like you said, if you start out as a hobby, and I've heard some people say in the past, like what if one of your videos went viral? Would you be prepared for that? Do you have like things in place to help you to sort of capitalize on that event if it happened? If that matters to you. Like as far as some people have had some videos go viral and they're not monetized, and they maybe don't have links in place on in the description box even to help to sort of drive some of that traffic to the rest of their videos, or even to their channel to subscribe. There's no call to action. So not that not to say you're going to treat every video like it could be viral, but you kind of should. Like what would happen? You kind of should. Yeah, if that video really took off. You
don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
It's sometimes the weirdest videos. Like I had 2 videos that randomly took off. They were videos I almost did not post online. They were videos I literally filmed because I thought they were fun and they were fun to do. I almost did not post them on YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's important to think about it and to take care, like if you're starting out as a hobby, of like the image you are portraying and how you might feel about that if it was seen by millions. I think that those things are, not that should hinder you or hold you back. You want to still be yourself, but just kind of think like, how would you feel if everybody on earth was, learning this or hearing this or seeing this? Kind of think about it a little bit as far as your image and what you're portraying to the world, and is that really okay with you? Because just think about it. It's something important to think about as you're starting out and going through. Even if you think, oh, I only have 10 subscribers, nobody's watching this. You can't be certain. As you just want to start out thinking, what does wild success look like for me, and how would I behave or what would I want to be putting out there that did happen. So it's a great tip. I love that one. Really, really good.
And monetize everything because you never know.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be that weird one-off video that you almost didn't post. And
it could happen like a year after you posted it. That too.
Yes.
It doesn't mean it's like, you know, if
it may not be
sitting out there for a year and all of a sudden take off. Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the crazy thing about YouTube is just the residual potential of everything. Yeah.
Okay, well, before we move on to the social, because I really want to talk about that, about the community aspect of it, maybe something we wish we had done. Is there anything on Twitter that we want to highlight, Diana? Did they switch up their conversation, or? Yeah,
let me see. They go so fast that sometimes I have to catch myself
up. It's hard to keep up.
They also agree that choosing your channel name is something. Anne-Marie from It's Just My Life CA, she says she wished she would have thought more before making her channel name. I know that's a name that she said before she's had for a really long time, and also is the name of her blog, I believe. So, yeah, they're talking about channel names. And Crystal says, brought to you by Mom, came from her blog, which in the middle of the night was a ding moment. You guys, we've all had those. Like, she was like, ding, that's it. That's how Moms with Mouse Ears was born. I, like, literally, like, was like, Moms with Mouse Ears.
I think all of us creative types have had that. I've been in the shower so many times and have been like, oh, my God, that's the best website ever. And I, like, run out of the shower to go purchase a domain name. And I'm like, what's wrong with me?
Your hair's still all wet. You're, like, running out to get a domain name.
If it's still available, I have to buy it. Like, you know, no matter what time I'm running out of the shower. Yeah. Crazy times.
Yeah, your domain name hoarding is starting to like rub off on me because now I want like a domain name for everything.
Right. Yeah, sometimes you're just like, oh, I got to buy that one, because then once you get it, you know, they're so cheap, especially on GoDaddy. It's like, and then you kind of have that domain for the future. So yeah, I kind of have a problem with that. That's my addiction, is domain names, website addresses.
Another thing I wish I would have done even more, I guess it's because I had a presence because of my blog before YouTube, is before you put yourself out there for anyone to see, go through and Google yourself and get rid of anything that you can that's related to your personal life. I mean, you can't do it with everything, and if somebody really wants to find you or where you are or what you do, they're going to, but just like getting rid of any old sites that you don't use or any like thing you're connected to where you had a profile or something, like just go through and get rid of anything that you don't want anymore.
Or just like the white pages. Just make sure you get the white pages and unlist yourself, like your address. I mean, so many people don't do that, and that's really important. You know, go and make sure you unlist yourself and your husband, and make sure that you're not. I mean, that's just one small step you can take that's really important.
Right.
So it's not public record, you know, exactly where you live. So especially as women, I think that's important for us with our families.
Yeah, and after I started making money on YouTube, the very first thing that I did for my family is I purchased home security. So I actually pay for our home security every month, and we probably wouldn't even have it if it wasn't for YouTube, but we have an alarm system in place because I put myself out there, and you never know. And so I think that just thinking about those little things, like I have a list of things in my head that like I want to do with what I earn that then benefits my family. Like, so just like all that little stuff, that planning ahead, even if you can't do it right away, just knowing that like eventually this is what I want to do and this is how I want to approach these things.
That's a great tip, Samantha. Next year, we're going to see you purchase a German Shepherd, right?
Yeah.
Next on the list.
No more that.
Next episode of Happily Housewife.
Right. How to train your attack dog. I know. I totally agree with you. That's a really good tip. Yeah, and that's great. I think that's perfect. So, okay, so let's talk about the social aspect before we have to wrap it up here. So I know that I have one. So does anybody have something that you wish you hadn't done within like the YouTube mom or just YouTube community in general when you first started out? And I will go ahead and start just to sort of break the ice on this one. And I really wish when I first started that I knew that one existed and that I knew how heavy it was on Facebook, because I had no idea when I first started out. So I was posting videos on YouTube. I was commenting on so many videos on YouTube, like really commenting on people's videos. And I just couldn't understand how it seemed like they all knew each other, even though I was trying, and I just felt like I was really like not part of it. Like I was like, how do these people know each other? How are they organizing collabs? I don't see them commenting in the videos. Are they just messaging each other through YouTube? And I just didn't really understand that so many YouTubers are connected through Facebook groups, you know, just like ours, like YouTube Mommy Meetup. So Facebook groups are huge for, you know, getting to know each other, for organizing collabs with each other, and a lot of people even have, you know, they friend people on their friend accounts on Facebook, you know, other YouTubers, and a lot of them, you know, have just basically all friends that are all YouTubers. They don't even use it for personal use anymore. So especially for YouTube moms, that's the community I know about, but we're very heavy on Facebook at this point in time. And if you're not on Facebook, then you're kind of missing out on the community aspect of YouTubers. And I really, really wish I'd known that in the beginning. I just didn't understand it. And it's made a huge difference that I sort of am connected, obviously, with all of you and so many others, you know, via other social media outside of YouTube. So it's great when you comment on videos, but really that's not where the main connections are, I found. It's more other platforms, which is interesting to me. And I really wish I had known that when I first started out, because I spent a long time sort of being like confused about how everybody seemed to know each other, and I felt like I just wasn't a part of that. So that's mine. Does anybody have anyone they can think of for a community? Diana, can you think of anything when you started out you wish you'd known?
Well, mine's kind of similar to that. I mean, I totally agree. I mean, I wish I would have known it existed, first of all, because I knew about beauty and handbag, and I was kind of over there doing that thing, like occasionally, and then that started picking up, so I started making more of those videos, and I didn't really even know that the mom community existed until I came across a stroller review. And then I was like, oh, well, I could totally do stuff like that. And I started occasionally doing it on Bags for Bubbles, but it didn't seem like a great fit. So I was like, well, I'll just make a different channel to put it over there, and all the mommy review stuff can go on that channel. And then I started realizing, like, whoa, this community is, like, big. Like, it's actual, like, thing. You know, I wish I would have known it existed as well. And mine's kind of the same as yours. For the first year, for most of, like, pretty much all 2012, I was just on my own little island, just making videos, putting it out there, responding to comments, watching some other mommy YouTubers, but I was still more kind of, I think, beauty-based at that point and handbag-based. So I wish I would have gotten into it earlier. I'm so glad YouTube Mommy Meetup exists now, because I think that's really when I started feeling connected in the mom community, honestly, is when YouTube Mommy Meetup came to be, or when I found out about it. That's when I really started to feel like I had connections in that community. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Yay for YouTube Mommy Meetup.
Yay.
Yay.
How about you, Candace? Can you think of anything when you started out within YouTube community that maybe you wish you'd done different?
You know, I would say the editing part of it, you know, because I would make videos that were like 15 minutes long, and these are pregnancy videos, and I mean, now that I'm actually into it, I'm like, wow, who would even sit through a 15-minute video? You're getting up, oh my gosh, the coffee is burning, or, you know, whatever, it's boiling over, and, you know, they see blank space. I couldn't edit that out because I didn't know anything about editing. I just knew that I propped my camera up on a few books and started talking.
Do you think that's because you didn't watch a lot of vloggers before, or just kind of?
I watched one in particular, but she's part of the Mommy Meetup, and that's Courtney Hale.
Yeah.
I watched her. I was pregnant along with her first one, Sophia. Mm-hmm. I was pregnant with my daughter, Annabelle. So I watched her, and that was when I think she had just started out, not too long before that. So I had followed her for a while, but, you know, I looked at her and I was like, well, she's a videographer, photographer, so she knows what she's doing. I'm just an amateur.
No, you're not. You're a YouTuber. You're not an amateur anymore.
Well, now I edit and I'm getting camera equipment. I'm good now.
Okay, that's good. How about you, Samantha? Can you think of anything at all? I mean, as part of the blog community, I know you pretty much for so long were part of like an online community. So I don't know. Do you think? I know you're going to say something, but do you think the YouTube community is a lot different from the blog community, or how would you compare?
I, in the blog community, always felt like one of those like outcasts that wasn't part of like the clique of bloggers at the time. So that really, like, I just never like you said, you never understood like how they all like worked together and came together and that sort of thing. I was lucky enough that whenever I started my channel, it wasn't long after that YouTube Mommy Meetup came to be. And so I've just always felt that, and like I had been watching Diana's channel and commenting a bunch on her stuff just because I enjoyed her channel a lot. And so when I started making videos, I kind of already felt like a connection to a couple of not only her, but a couple of her subscribers that we'd reply to each other and such. But I think one thing I wish I would have known is that YouTube creators are also viewers. And so if you're a viewer of someone's channel, I think I've heard, maybe it was Diana say this before, and you, not that I've ever done this, but if you go to someone's channel that you don't agree with and you make a comment that's kind of nasty or whatnot, and you're not a creator, like the people you watch that you admire, they're going to see what you say on other people. Like maybe you're the sweetest. Like I have some really sweet subscribers, but you'll go to another channel and you'll see them be nasty or something, and you're like, oh, wait, like, and then they'll be like, oh my gosh, you watch her video. Like, I think that, like, kind of just understanding the way it all works. Like, even though I'm a creator, I'm also a viewer, and when I was just a viewer, I don't think I understood that, and whenever I started creating, I didn't understand just how small of a community it can be and how you can kind of get intertwined into some nastiness sometimes.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I completely agree. Because I've seen a lot of my own channel, my subscribers, viewers of mine, sometimes I read a lot of their comments on other channels, on other videos, and a lot of times they're not so nice, and it's really shocking, you know, where I might even read them write something, you know, that's just like appalling to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And some of them I even wrote back to their comment and said like something on there like, oh, I didn't know you felt like that. And I can tell they're embarrassed because they immediately write back and it's this long, you know, apology or something, like because they're surprised to see me on somebody else's video. But I watch a lot of videos and a lot of times read the comments because, like you were just saying, Samantha, it's very interesting. You kind of get more of a feel for who somebody really is when you read comments on other videos. Yeah.
I also think too, whenever you're a new creator, sometimes you don't understand how important it is to give someone credit where credit's due, even if it's the smallest little thing. Like I don't know, say you make a video that you saw somebody else make a few weeks ago and you don't even think like, oh, I should say that I watched this video and it gave me the inspiration. Like, doing those little things from the beginning takes you a long way. Being like, oh, I watched so-and-so's video a few weeks ago on how to organize your pantry, and this is what I've done. The link to their video is below. That, I mean, if they watch your video, they're just going to be so appreciative of that, and your subscribers are, like, if you have subscribers that watch that other video, they're going to be like, oh, you didn't, like, if you don't do it, you copied this person, and it just turns into not so great things. So just, like, being aware that, like, giving credit is nothing but a good thing. Like, it's never going to do you any harm to give credit to somebody else where credit's due.
And if you do that and they see it, then they're going to be more likely to think, like, you know, oh, where can I shout them out, like, later on in the future? Yeah. You know, they'll more likely remember it and be like, oh, you know, she gave me a shout out for that video, so how can I do this later on? So yeah, that's a good point.
It's good. Goodwill is always a really great thing, and I'm always saying this like over and over again that, you know, just because you help a fellow creator, you know, you shout them out or whatever you may do with a collab, but if you mention them and your subscribers go and subscribe to them, like, you don't lose subscribers. Like, I always feel like there's enough subscribers to go around for everybody, and it's not like they're going to steal your subscribers away. I always thought that was ludicrous. Like, that way of thinking to me is just, like, I don't understand it. You know, it's, if you know, we help each other as creators, and I feel like, you know, I mean, if somebody really likes you and they go over and subscribe to someone else, they're still going to stay subscribed to you if they really like you. I mean, no one's going to steal your subscribers from you. So just because somebody else is maybe moving ahead and gaining subscribers, you know, there's no reason, you know, to feel competitive with that. The only person you're really competing with ever is yourself. Like, you yourself on your channel, you're your only true competition. Like that's who you're fighting to, improve, is yourself. You want to improve yourself, improve your videos, and that's it, not your neighbor, creator. So I wish more people thought that way. So it's always a good thing to, like you said, give credit. Most likely if you do a video about something that someone else did, they're going to watch your video. Like they for sure probably will. Because news really does travel fast within the YouTube community, and people know a lot of things, and word spreads. And if you do a video, based on someone else's, they for sure probably will come watch yours, and they'd probably really appreciate a link in your description box, or saying something just to kind of give them that credit, and it really makes them feel good, and hopefully we'll develop a friendship there.
Yeah.
And if not, you tried. You did the right thing, So.
Exactly. And I hope we didn't miss out on the best. I feel like that was maybe the best point out of a great end cap of the conversation. They are posting on Twitter that we froze up. So I realize we're still going for the podcast and for playback,
Yes.
but on the live broadcast we may have froze up. So
all right.
I'll let you know.
Oh, well, you missed it. You missed the best tip ever.
You guys missed the best. The whole impact of the whole conversation.
Oh, well.
You have to play it back now, folks.
Right. Watch the whole thing back or listen on the podcast.
Oh, goodness.
Well, we said the only competition is yourself. That was basically
That's very
the wrap-up.
true. I think that's the big takeaway from tonight, is you just do the best you can and just keep trying to better yourself at what you're doing, regardless of where you start out editing-wise or any of that,
Yeah, exactly. All right. So that was a great hangout, you guys. Thank you so much. I am at the beach this week on vacation. That's why my background looks kind of different, and my hair is all windblown from the ocean. I was just walking on the beach before this hangout. So I do have to make sure that we end on time so I can get back to my vacation. Not that this hasn't been fun. I'm glad that we were able to still be here despite me being away from my typical surroundings. So thank you guys so much for being here, Candace and Samantha. It's a pleasure, and I'm so excited to see you guys in real life in Chicago. It's going to be so great. Yay! I know. I'm just so excited about it, especially as it gets closer here. So. And as we said in the beginning, you can go to YouTubeMomConference.com for information and to buy tickets if you'd like to come and join us and meet us there. It's going to be a networking, collaborating event. We're going to be filming. We're just going to be meeting up, hanging out. It's going to be a really fun, day-long event, and we're excited about it. And what else do we have to say, Diana? We miss Amy, Dreamflight 6000.
Amy. I hope she's having a great anniversary. Yeah.
I hope she is too. Yeah. All right. Before we go, Samantha, let everybody know where they can go to find you.
All right. On YouTube, it's Happily a Housewife. The same on Facebook and Instagram. And, yeah, that's where I am.
Okay. Happily a Housewife. And Candace, where can everybody go to find you?
They can go on YouTube to Loving Silly Girl. The girl, though, is spelled without an I. A lot of people, they're like, oh, I can't find you. So it's Loving Silly Girl without an I. The girl's without an I. And then I'm also on Twitter, and it's under Candace Pels.
Okay. Perfect. All right. And go ahead, Diana. Where can everybody go to find you?
All right. You can find me at youtube.com/BeingMommyWithStyle. I'm also on Facebook, Being Mommy with Style, and I love Instagram, also Being Mommy with Style. On Twitter and Pinterest, you can find me Being Mommy Style.
All right, awesome. And I am Dana Ryan. You can find my YouTube channel at danaryan.tv, and you can find me on Periscope at Miss Dana Ryan. I've been doing live broadcasts all week of myself at the beach, and I'm really enjoying Periscope. So come and follow me there, and don't forget to tap that screen for hearts. It's a riot. I love seeing all the hearts come up in that live broadcast screen. So we will be back in 2 weeks here on the Mommy Meetup channel. We appreciate you guys being here. And if you are listening to the podcast, don't forget to head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. We really appreciate when you do that. It helps others to find our show and helps to encourage me to continue posting this live hangout as a podcast. All right. Thank you again to the Twitter team. We appreciate you. I'm going to try to head into Twitter and tweet a little bit after we hang up here. YouTubeMommyMeetup.com/Twitter for information on that. All right. See you guys in the next hangout.